You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You're just scrolling, minding your own business, and then you see it. The amazing vacation photos, the big job promotion, the perfect-looking family. And when you finally put your phone down, your own life suddenly feels, well, a little less shiny.
But here's the thing. That little pang of envy, or maybe that little boost of pride you feel sometimes, that's not some random glitch in your personality. Nope, it's a fundamental part of how we're wired. And psychologists have been digging into it for decades.
Okay, so let's get into the why. What is it that makes us so obsessed with seeing how we stack up against everybody else? You could almost think of it as this ancient survival instinct, just baked right into our DNA.
This idea has actually been around for a while. It really started getting attention back in 1942, when Herbert Hyman pointed out that how we see ourselves completely depends on the group we're comparing ourselves to. Then in 1954, the social psychologist Leon Festinger, he's the one who really put it all together and gave it a name, social comparison theory. And the idea just kept growing from there.
So what is it exactly? Well, at its core, the theory is pretty simple. It says that we have this deep, innate drive to understand ourselves. To figure out, are my opinions normal? Am I any good at this? And since we can't always find an objective answer, we do the next best thing. We use other people as our measuring stick. And here it is, straight from the source, Festinger himself. This is the key insight. When there's no clear objective scale, like there's no scoreboard for, am I a good friend? Our brains automatically default to looking at what other people are doing. It's our go-to method for figuring out where we stand.
So what are the big reasons we do this? Well, it's usually a mix of things. Sometimes we're just trying to get an honest read on ourselves. Other times it's about feeling a little less uncertain about our place in the world. And let's be honest, sometimes it's just to give ourselves a little ego boost, but it can also be a really powerful motivator to push ourselves and get better.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Not all comparisons are the same. The direction we look, whether it's up at someone we think is doing better or down at someone we see as less fortunate, that simple choice has a massive impact on how we feel.
So you've got two main flavors here. First, there's upward comparison. That's when you look at someone you see as being better off in some way. You might do this for inspiration, right? To set a goal. Then you have downward comparison. That's the opposite. You look at someone who you think has it worse off. And this is often a way to feel a bit better about your own situation.
Think about it. Looking at someone who's achieved exactly what you want to achieve. On a good day, that can light a fire under you. It's pure motivation. But on a bad day, that exact same comparison can make you feel totally inadequate, like you'll never catch up. It's a total double-edged sword.
Now, on the flip side, downward comparison is a classic coping mechanism. You see this a lot in psychological studies. It's not about feeling smug or mean-spirited. It's a powerful mental tool our brains use to find perspective and boost our own mood, especially when we're going through a tough time. It helps us feel grateful for what we have.
Okay, so let's take this theory that's been around for decades and plug it into the modern world. Because we've built the most powerful comparison machine in human history, social media. It takes our ancient, hardwired instincts and puts them on steroids. And here is the fundamental problem, the big trap. We are constantly comparing our own messy, complicated, behind-the-scenes reality with everyone else's perfectly polished public highlight reel. We're seeing the filtered, cropped, and best of the best moments, not the boring, difficult, or just plain normal stuff that happens in between.
And this nonstop, totally skewed comparison, it has very real consequences. It's the engine that drives the fear of missing out, FOMO. Study after study links it to higher levels of stress, anxiety, and just general dissatisfaction. It creates these completely unrealistic standards for what a good life or a successful career is even supposed to look like.
This chart kind of says it all. You've got your actual life down here, the day-to-day reality. Then there's this perception of other people's lives that we get from social media. And way up at the top is the ideal life that all media pushes on us. It's the huge gap between our reality and these other bars that can make us feel so crummy. Okay, so we've got this ancient instinct, and it's being supercharged by modern tech. It can feel a little hopeless, right? But what can we actually do about it? Well, it turns out just understanding what's happening is a massive first step toward getting some control back. So here's a simple little mental checklist you can use. First, just get good at noticing when you're even doing it. That's huge. Then, ask yourself, okay, am I looking up or down right now? Step 3, and this is critical, question the source. Is this the whole story, or am I just looking at a highlight reel? And finally, reframe it. Ask yourself, can I use this feeling as fuel, or is it just dragging me down? Look,
The big takeaway here isn't that you can just flip a switch and stop comparing yourself to other people. Come on, remember? It's a fundamental human drive. The real goal is to get smart about it, to become aware of the process as it's happening. Because that awareness, that gives you the power to choose how you react. And that's everything when it comes to protecting your peace of mind.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. The next time you find yourself scrolling, or maybe looking at a coworker's success and feeling that little pang, what are you actually comparing? Are you comparing your reality to their reality? Or are you comparing your reality to their performance? Just asking yourself that simple question can change the whole game.